What's up guys, Shane Starnes here, and I've had a couple of days to play with the Note 10. I've already uploaded my first 10 things that you should do on the Galaxy Note 10 to get the best possible experience. I'll be sure to include a link to that in the description. There's a lot of reasons that you would purchase the Note device. It is the phone that has all the features. It's got the bigger screen, but most importantly, it has the S Pen. If you're not using the S Pen on the Galaxy Note 10, you're doing yourself a total disservice. There are so many awesome features that come included with the Galaxy Note 10 when it comes to the S Pen. We're going to cover all of those features in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. First up, we'll take a look at the S Pen itself. So the S Pen on the Note 10 is pretty similar to the S Pen that we had with our Galaxy Note 9. It is a little slimmer, a little smaller. This is still a Bluetooth pen. With only 6 minutes of charging, you're going to get 10 hours of use. We've got the button there in the center, and we still have that clicky, satisfying button up top. The color on this thing with the Aura Glow is just this awesome midnight blue, and I think it looks absolutely sick. I love the color on this S Pen. It's awesome. So one of the new features with the Galaxy Note 10 S Pen is a new feature called Air Control. So real quickly, I'm going to launch the camera app just to kind of give you an idea of how this works. We'll go into the camera. This is what's set up by default. So we click the button here. It's going to give you all the air actions for the camera. A single press takes a picture or records a video. Double press switches the camera. So going from the rear camera to the front camera. Gestures up and gestures down switch the cameras. Swiping to the right or the left will choose a different mode, and drawing a circle is going to zoom in and out. So I'll kind of show you how this works. If you press the button, you're going to take a picture. If you press and hold the button on photo mode, you're going to take many pictures. You saw I just took 10 pictures very rapidly. That would come in handy if you are you're trying to take pictures of a moving target. So I've got a 1-year-old that runs all over the house. I can't make her sit still for a good photo. Snapping 10 photos in a row like that, I'm going to get an awesome shot. So some other things here, if we flick our wrist up, it's going to change to the front-facing camera. Flipping up again is going to take me back to the rear camera. I can switch through my modes by flicking my wrist to the right or the left. One thing about these air actions, when you're using the camera, you're going to take some unnecessary shots. I've noticed that because to do it, you can't just flick your wrist. You have to actually press the button, but you're also taking a picture when you're pressing the button. So sometimes it knows, hey, all he's trying to do is switch his modes, and other times it's going to first take a picture and then switch the mode. So one thing that was difficult for me to get the hang of here is zooming in and out. So you'll press the button and make a circle, and I might be able to get it to do it. It seems like it works better when you have like a hallway or you've got some depth in your shot. So I've sat here and tried to make it zoom in and out, and it's very difficult to get that particular action to happen, but that's okay. You can actually set those actions up for different things. So if you'd rather have zoom in and out on, say, a double click, you can set that up. So that's no big deal. If you're outside, you're going to have a much easier time zooming in and out. There's nothing really here to zoom in and out on because everything's so close to the camera right now. That may be the issue. If we jump into our settings and then we go into our air actions, you can change what holding the pen button does. So by default, it opens up your camera, but you can choose any other of your applications, basically any app at all, to open up whenever you click the button. So, if you chose YouTube, and so now if I hold down the button, it's going to launch YouTube. All right, if we jump back into the settings, I'm going to go ahead and just quickly turn that back on to the camera so I don't forget. If we go to our app actions, you can change these actions here. So for me, the clockwise circle and a counterclockwise circle, they don't work really well. So if I would actually rather have my zoom in and zoom out on the left and right, now real quickly, I'll open up the camera and I'll give that a try. So let's go. See, now we can zoom in and out. a little easier. So everything in there is customizable and you can set it up to your liking. Just real quickly, we'll look at some of the other air actions for the other applications. So if we go back into our air actions, you can take a look at the gallery. A single press goes to the next item, a double press goes to the previous item. So you can kind of do like a PowerPoint slideshow type presentation in your gallery. Swiping up gives you details, and then swiping left and right gets you to the next and previous item. You've got some options here with Samsung Notes. Single press switches to your favorite pen so that you can change your brush color. Double press enters eraser mode. Even the Chrome has some app actions. So we go to the Chrome, the single press gets you back, double press gets you forward. Let's see what all is available here. Scroll down, scroll up. So we'll actually go ahead and set these. So as you can see, you can just use your air gestures to scroll through your feed here. And then let's see, pressing the button goes back, double press goes forward. So the reason why you might want to use this, if you're using your pen on your browser, you're not taking up any screen real estate. Normally when your hand is hovering over your browser, you have to look at your hand. You got to look at your finger. So you may decide that you want to just look at the screen without any hindrances of your hand and just use your gestures. If we do scroll down here in our Air Actions menu, you also have some media controls that you can turn on or off. So when you're using a media app, say we're using YouTube Music, and let's just say that we want to play a song, we can press the button here. A single press pauses, and a single press plays again. Double press will skip. Flicking the wrist up increases the volume. Flicking the wrist down decreases the volume. Flicking the wrist to the right or the left will skip or go back to the previous song. So those are some simple media controls that you can also use with your S Pen. All right, so you'll notice here that you do have a little floating icon here whenever you do take out your S Pen. If we click on that floating icon, this is our Air command. It's going to give us several quick options. We've got options for creating a note, viewing our notes, Smart Select, Screen Write, Live Message, and AR Doodle. If we just simply go to create a note, this will allow us to jot down a note. So if something comes up in the day, something that you need to quickly remember, you can write down a note. Go to grocery store, or whatever the case may be. Save that. That saves directly to your Samsung Notes. You can go ahead and view all notes. So this is just a really quick and easy way to get back to that note. What was it that you were trying to remember? You can pull that up quickly and easily right there in Air Command. If you go to Smart Select gives you all kind of options here for grabbing media off of your screen. You can just simply draw a box here and grab that media directly off your screen. You've got some options to share and edit here. You've got a lasso. And then you can also grab, with Smart Select, you're also able to grab GIFs off the screen. So if you're playing a YouTube video, you could easily make your own GIF straight off that YouTube video. Yeah, so to grab that GIF, you would just open up your Smart Select, choose GIF, and you would move your box here. All right, and then you would hit record. That's going to go ahead and grab your GIF. Then you can easily edit that or share that on social media. The GIF operation is going to work on most videos. It may not work on all videos. So if you have like a live TV app, YouTube TV, some of those, they're not going to allow you to grab a GIF, obviously for copyright reasons, but most situations that's going to work. So continuing with our Air command, you do have Screen Write. So that's going to take a screenshot, and then you can write a note on your screenshot. And then of course you've got options to share and save. You've even got options here to change your brush and options to change the color. If you go to the live message, so you're able to capture a moment, whatever's going on, and then you're able to draw during the video. So this would be great if you wanted to record a video of you saying something to somebody, and maybe you wanted to give them some encouragement with a thumbs up, something like that. It's just a way to easily personalize your video messages that you're sending to your family and friends. Okay, and then we have this option here for AR Doodle. So while this is updating here, AR Doodle is new to the Galaxy Note 10. You're able to draw in 3D with AR Doodle, and your S Pen says your creations can track your face and the space around you for eye-catching videos. So just to kind of give you an idea of what you can do with the AR Doodle, I just gave myself some extra thick eyebrows and a beard and mustache, but you'll be able to draw all kinds of augmented reality items on 3D images that will follow and track those items. Screen off memo is another great feature here, so we'll go ahead and turn the screen off, and then I'll extract the S Pen. You're instantly able to begin to write memos on the screen, and you're able to save these as well. You can also change the color of the pen, and you can change the pen type as far as like the size of the stroke here, and then you can erase as well. There are options here to save this to your notes or to pin it to the always on display. So if it's something that's really important that you don't want to forget, you can actually pin it directly to your always on display, or you can save it directly to your notes. You've got options here for more pages, so you can write more pages of notes. And if we go ahead and pin this, let's see, I'm going to do something a little more legible. I'll go for Note 10 like that. And I'll save that to my always on display. All right, so now that's on my always on display. I'm not going to forget about that note at all today because it's going to be right there. When I want to get rid of it, I can simply press the X button. That gets rid of that note. Sort of the thing that I forgot to mention here is you can actually launch the Google Assistant without saying the command by using your S Pen. So to do that, you would go back into your settings, go into Air Actions, and then choose Open Voice Search. So if you press and hold the button, what's the weather like? And you're able to bring up your voice commands without actually having to say that hot word, which is great. You do have an option here to unlock with the S Pen remote. And if you do this, if you turn it on, you can actually unlock your phone by pressing the S Pen button. So now that my screen has gone inactive, I'll be able to unlock it by simply pressing the button. So that only works if the screen goes inactive on its own. If you lock it, it's not going to unlock the screen. The Air Command shortcuts can also be changed up. So there's all kinds of different apps and shortcuts that you can add. If you wanted to add something like translate, you can also add that. Here are all your shortcuts. So you would need to grab one here and move that over. If you wanted to remove one, you could also do that. All right, so we'll go back into our Air Commands. If we scroll up, we've got Translate, Glance, Chrome, and Facebook that are all there now. Real quickly, we'll go over this Translate option. You can just hover over a word. For me, I'll go with Spanish because that's the one I'm most likely to use. I just went on a mission trip to Costa Rica. My wife's heading to Honduras on another mission trip. So we actually use some English quite often. So I'll go into, let's see, we'll go into the Chrome browser. I should be able to go here to Translate and then just kind of hover over what I'd like to translate. So danza is dance. Let's see, I already know what this word is. We hover over that, that's August. We can find out what the days of the week are. So that's pretty cool. You can actually use this if you don't want to translate the entire page. Google's automatically going to translate it, but if you're in another application that is in a different language, you can use your S Pen to translate into English or whatever language you want to translate in. You can also use your pen for direct pen input. So you would just go to handwriting and you can enter your message. Message. It's also going to be able to pick up on punctuation pretty easily. It's going to be able to pick up on numbers pretty easily there. So I'm not really sure. For me, it's easier just to type. I've been typing for all my life here. It's a whole lot easier to type, but if you just prefer to use the S Pen, you prefer to handwrite, you can handwrite whatever you want, and that will turn it into text so that you can use that in your text messages or wherever else. So a few more things that we'll cover here in our settings. You can choose to turn the floating icon on or off. This can also be moved anywhere on the screen. It's kind of like chat heads for Facebook. You do have an option here what to do when the S Pen is removed. You can do nothing. You can choose to create a note, or you can have this air commands. There is a pen proximity alert, which is awesome. Be sure that that is turned on. That way, if you leave your pen behind and you walk away, your phone will notify you to go back and retrieve your pen. It would really be awful to lose this awesome S Pen. It can also make the value of your phone go down if you were to try to resell it. There's an option here to use multiple S Pens, so that way you can use someone else's S Pen while the S Pen is inserted into your phone. There was one more S Pen feature that I thought was worth mentioning. That's the magnify feature. It turns out that you can only add 10 smart actions there. So we'll go back, we'll go ahead and launch our magnify, and you can just scroll over an area and it will magnify the screen. If you have an issue reading smaller text, this may be a function that you'll use. You can also increase the amount of magnification, so it actually is a little more helpful, and you can decrease the level of magnification. Just for giggles, let's see if the S Pen can be inserted backwards. And it looks like it cannot be inserted backwards. Many years ago, that was an issue, I think with the Note 7 or maybe the Note 6, where people were getting their S Pen stuck. You can see there is a little lip here on the S Pen, or maybe, I think maybe the button. Yeah, that's what it is. The button is a little thicker than the rest of the S Pen, so you cannot shove this in backwards, which is a great safety feature. Anyhow, guys, you can see how there are so many different things that you can use your S Pen for. It's one of the main reasons that you purchased the Galaxy Note 10. Definitely want to make sure you're taking advantage of that S Pen. Anyhow, guys, that about wraps it up for this video. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more coverage like this in the future. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.